Welcome back to the Pet Zone podcast with Victoria, Christine, Kim, and Laura. Fueled by clippers, caffeine, and the kind of humor HR would not approve of. Now let's jump back into the conversation. How is you?
I'm good, doing all the things. Everything I was doing was really stupid and I didn't want to be doing anymore. It rained so much today. So I like did the attention deficit disorder mantra where you're like, cool, let me rip apart my kitchen and do stupid shit.
Oh.
And I had to at least somewhat put it back together.
No, totally get it. I had a Disneyland hangover yesterday, or I would have sent everybody like, hey, don't forget. And then
No worries. Oh, yeah. Things are busy. Things are super duper 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 busy. Very busy. I don't even know how to feel about it. Because in the past 6 years, it's just like things will be good. You start making the decisions that are associated to being good, and then they stop being good, and then you're stuck with those big responsibilities.
Absolutely, been there.
100%.
So yeah, 2021 punched me in the freaking vajayjay like at full force, and so I've become much more cautious in my grandeur decision making with business expansion and everything. I'm very 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 cautious these days, because again, we're in a crazy world, and as much as we like to think that we've had so much class divide of like, oh, this is just affecting this group of people, that group of people. This is only this state, not this state. And at the end of the day, it's like if you dump a whole bunch of garbage in the ocean in China, it's still going to affect California's water line. What gets dumped into the into the Gulf is going to affect the Northeast. So like we're all on this spinning planet. And so everything affects everybody, and so there's no me, them. It's like you look at the collective.
Yep, 100%.
100%.
Okay. Now, do we want to be semi-professional right now, other than the fact I just cracked open an alcoholic beverage? But, it's Sunday.
Well, if we're not being professional, I have to say, Miss Victoria, your cans are ginormous. What in the flub? Like, those are some big mama jammas.
Hey,
I don't
good
remember
money.
them being that big. Like, did you get a rack job, or are you pregnant?
I got a rack job a year after I was pregnant, so 20 years ago.
Damn, how did I never notice these things?
Because normally I have a whole t-shirt on, and girls aren't usually, but I had to be prepared today in case Veronica made an appearance, because she dresses like a slut. So my character that I'm kind of trying to make videos about, it's basically all the things you want to say and do, but you don't because you shouldn't. So when I do something I blame it on Veronica.
Yeah.
So I got a wig for her, and Chris and I made a video where I was a mobile groomer who showed up in her shop, dropped off my dogs with no appointment, and then just fucked off while my dogs were here getting groomed.
And this is based on a true story that happened.
And I was amazing. Like, you'll see like clips of them grooming my dog, and then cut to me sitting in the break room, eating their food. There's a massage. Amazing. And it was a lot. I was rude to the receptionist, which I had such a hard time keeping a straight face on. She's like, we don't take walk-ins. I said, you do for me. Yeah. And she just...
and she was being honest. She was like...
So the next one's going to be... Veronica's also going to be that bad customer or that shitty employee or the shitty boss. Basically, she's going to be the shit person nobody wants to deal with. Yeah. So the next one's going to be drop the dogs off, and it's either I'm calling in sick for work, leaving my coworker screwed, or I'm just that asshole client who's like, all right, we'll pick your dogs up by 5. Cool. And then cut to me at Disneyland, Mickey ears. I took pictures, and the best part is standing in line, and then I look around and I pull out the blonde wig. It's like a crappy blonde wig, and I have like this whole goth dog collar on. It's all gothed out, and then everybody's just kind of looking, and you just have to I'm just gonna go with it.
That's amazing.
You should see some of the Disneyland photos of her.
Oh, there's a bad one. The worst one was waiting in line for Tiana's Splash Mountain. And right when we were walking to the line, I see this kid eating this big old pickle, and I was all, I can't pass this one up. So I put everything's out, and I'm standing there, sled it up with a dill pickle in my mouth. And I couldn't.
At Disneyland.
There were no little kids. It was after dark. Disney after dark.
Disneyland.
Oh, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
And going through security and having to explain why there's a wig in my bag, like, just let it happen.
I think at this stage, because the generations that Disney was created for, in the absence of a functioning, healthy, and nurturing family life, we're all grown up. And I feel like they should no longer make it a place for kids. Just accept the fact that, like, this place is just meant for adults. It is an adult Disneyland, and maybe make, like, you know how, like, there's like Muppets and then there's Muppet Babies, like, make like Disneyland Babies. And because again, most of the people that I know that are like it is therapy to them. It is legit therapy. It's like, hey, when I see Snow White, that's like the mother I never had. Like, and I'm not saying me in particularly, but like it's like a lifetime of, trauma gets like dissolved by going there. So yeah, I think that they should honestly just try to just like, hey, listen, let's as we have a business model that's over a century old at this point, let's pivot. Let's pivot. Pivoting is important.
It gets dark. So 7:00, get the kids out, let them see the parade, and bye.
Well, they have the California Adventures, and that's supposed to be like the adult themed one.
Not really, though. I don't like California.
I mean, build a whole other castle for the children. Just like that's where they go. This is for the adults with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I think that would definitely be wise. Now, I think that would be the best. That would be the best thing. Like, I personally am not like a huge Disney fan. I grew out of it and got into Nickelodeon and Nicktoons, and that was a dark path, but it was good. Like, I love Nick at Night, Rocko's Modern Life, and Ren and Stimpy, Doug. And like, that was just kind of my thing. And then once I was a young adult, like, I had Burning Man, and we all know that took like 12 years of my life. So I never really got into it, but I have so many friends that like Disney is like, and different income brackets. I have friends that literally make 50 grand a year, and they will spend what looks like 50 grand a year on Disney. Like, they make it happen no matter what. And then I have friends that are deep 6-figure earners that literally are on memberships that, they spend 30 grand annually for their VIP passes so they can treat their family. They did all the math to figure out what was the best thing for them. So it's an important thing to a lot of people.
It's funny because Sandy Hartness and I went some years ago, and we were enjoying Disneyland. But when we got, and this is right after the Star Wars part opened up, oh my God, her and I were fiends. I had to get the headbands with the R2D2 and play.
Star Wars Land is just fun.
Yeah, I was like nuts.
That looks awesome. I got to check that out.
Like, Disneyland, if it made it all Star Wars, I'd be like, okay with that.
Rise of the Resistance. I didn't realize I hadn't been on that one before, but my favorite parts were the guard. We do have to line up, and then the guard starts yelling at everybody. I was like, oh. And then
I haven't
just
been on
snickered.
the ride yet because it was at the time where you had to get an appointment to get on it. I don't know about now, but
no, now it's pretty much
we didn't go on any of the rides. We just went around that part, and we were having the best time of our lives. You would have thought that
they do a good job with. I think out of all the theme parks, they do the best with the decorations, the scenes, the sense. Like, it's you're just
because you're in that land.
Yeah,
especially if you consume any other products.
Oh.
Sell alcohol in the park.
Yeah.
They used to only do it at California Adventure, but now the restaurants in the park will have
Yeah.
some drinks.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, like their primary target, they make it seem like it's children, but their primary
no,
target is millennials and zennials and Gen some Gen X.
Actually,
And
bigger force of Gen X in there than most people realize.
yeah, yeah,
Because, like, I'm Gen X and I have
yeah,
friends I hard Disney.
yeah.
And I was at one point, but I'm diehard Star Wars.
Yeah.
what do you think are Disney? I think it's because it's convenient because it's 30 minutes from our house. So
Yeah,
you hop
no,
on
of course.
and
No, I
eat,
have
hit.
friends that moved to Orlando specifically for Disney. Like that is
Intense.
crazy. That's crazy. Absolute
Yeah.
crazy.
Someday I'll make it to Orlando just to go on a 5-day Disney excursion, then Universal. Like I'll do all the theme parks
Yeah.
someday.
I don't think I've done them all, but I've done quite a few.
Yeah.
So the last time we talked, you were going hunting. Did you catch any?
So we at that particular night that we spoke, we didn't, but since then got so far 2 does. So we're still holding off for bucks. My husband actually went out, and I was just like, I am not going out. I went hiking earlier and got caught in a lot of rain. And there's some pros to hiking in the rain. I have all sorts of great gear, so like I'm dry, there's no problems. It's just in like like especially off like the AT, the Appalachian Trail. There's lots of rock, and that's when it becomes a hazard. And like I'm not as young as I used to be, so like I used to love taking all sorts of risks. Now I'm like, if I get all the work, if I slip, like I'm not gonna do this. So I had a really slow and steady hike back to my car as it was torrential downpouring. So once I got back to the house, I just was not interested in sitting in the tree stand tonight. Their rut season has just started. So the males are starting to get a little more stupid than normal. So there'll be more opportunities, which is great. And then rifle season's opening up too, which will be fun. But yeah, we got 2 deer, we got 30 pounds of dog food, and I think 120 pounds of meat. So total. So meat in the freezer, very happy about that. It's funny when you quit all the other substances and all the other things, it's amazing how excited you get about food. I literally live for the excitement of stocking and preserving food. It's such a weird place to be in. I like it how like I skipped the midlife crisis and went right into grandma activities like gardening, pickling. It's crazy. It's super crazy. But yeah, it's a fun time to be in nature in the Northeast right now. We have all that fall foliage.
I bet
Um,
it's
I don't
it's
get that
it's
here.
it's
no,
it's
ours
beautiful.
brown to
It's still
darker
70s,
brown.
80s right now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. This time
Get
of
like
year in the Northeast, we get all the weather. So like it's been 65, hot, raining, and cold. And as a result, like I mean, when I lived in Miami, my wardrobe consisted of tank tops and shorts that were this big and big fluffy boots for like when it was 50 degrees. And like a lot of people here, when they hear the people down south complaining about 40, 50 degrees, I'm sure it's the same thing out west, is
oh yeah,
when you're near the water, 40 to 50 degrees is
it's
brutal.
different.
It's
My friend and
very, very, very different.
because she's in Alabama near Huntsville, and she's
Ooh,
like different here. She
yeah,
goes, but California, she goes 60 degrees felt colder than it does here.
yeah.
That
One thing that's been really cool is I've been working out a lot. I've been doing a lot of strength training, and it's really cool when you do certain exercises and you see how it's helping you, not just in your job, but your personal life. I had to help my husband hoist a giant deer up the street after we did up the side of the mountain once we field dressed it. And so I've been doing this exercise It's called fireman's carry. I call it dead man's carry or dead deer carry. And you take two weights. It is not Instagram worthy. It is not a sexy exercise. It's you are carrying two weights on the left and right side of you, and you're just walking in intervals and pausing and putting the weights down, picking the weights up. It gives you a full body workout, because think about it. It like you're carrying a fuck ton of groceries, a screaming kid, a dog, whatever it is. Like, you're engaged your whole body. I don't care if you're a size 2 or a size 42. It does not matter. You have to be strong in your core to balance that type of weight. So doing this exercise, I'm noticing I'm just not really getting out of breath as easily when I have to do challenging things, both in the workplace as well as the hunting environment. And my one of the classes I'm teaching in Texas, it's called Ow My Back. And so I'm actually incorporating a lot more strength training into this one, as I've always kind of been more the yoga person. So the girl I teach it with, she'll talk more about strength training. We talk about nutrition. We talk about all this stuff and how it impacts our jobs. But one thing I've learned is yoga's great. It's great to be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're flexible with no strength, you're at risk for injury. And if you're just strong and you have no flexibility, you're also at risk for injury. So you kind of need both.
As a balance.
Yeah.
All life must be balanced.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's kind of like what I'm getting into, is just everything outdoors as much as possible. And I think it's better than venison. It's amazing.
What classes did you Chris just came back from Rocky Mountain?
Rocky Mountain Groom Expo.
Oh, it's awesome. Pacific Northwest?
No, it was the first time in Arizona.
First time in Arizona. First show in Arizona.
Oh, so, that's super rad.
It was, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. It was a perfect venue. So it was,
nice.
My description was, it was a cross between Tacoma, the show in Tacoma, small, nice facility, with the potential of becoming like Pasadena, where it's a smaller side, but you still have a big crowd. So it was a beautiful facility. It was, I was blown away. I mean, the effort that went into it was just amazing. And I enjoyed it.
What classes did you teach?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to, every essential numbers that every salon owner should have in their toolkit. So the business side of it, groomers,
part people don't think about.
Groomers are known for doing math. So these are numbers just to help keep the business healthy, like the things you should know. You should know what your average price of a dog is in your salon. You should know what you need to make just to keep the lights on. That's
what it costs you to groom each dog.
And I taught it with my husband. So I was the groomer side of it, and he was the very business side of it. And so together,
perfect team.
Like,
that's amazing.
There's some bantering between the two of us that we sometimes add a little comedy to it.
Yeah.
But the people that we had stayed through the whole thing, and then they followed us out, and were still talking to us. So I took that as a win.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
I don't. So I teach at mainly for Pet Pro, which is in Texas. It's coming up in June, and what I like is Scott, the show coordinator. He has always allowed me perfect freedom to teach what works, because a lot of times, a lot of the other companies, they, I'm the loudmouth from New York, so they want me to teach business and finance and all this, and it's just like, listen, at the end of the day, when people one-on-one contact me, and I love that, I love it when people contact me, and because I can cultivate that to work for that specific person, speaking to on a broad basis, sometimes, again, people in other parts of the country would be like, you're a loudmouth from New York. How is what you know going to help me? Well, I'm a loudmouth from New York, and I'm a loudmouth from Poconos. So I work in two different markets. So some of the things are helpful. So I like to put most of my energy into health, exercise, nutrition, and just some like weird, quirky things in the that apply to business. Me and my partner Sarah Krenmer, we came up with something called Skits and Bits, and it's fucking awesome. We took the remote control from our hotel, and we asked students, someone's going to come up with a scenario and some bullshit, some terms and conditions. You're going to give it, and we're going to improv it out, and the other one's going to then narrate it by using the remote control to hit pause, so we can give you real time how we would use our experience to work through a dog got cut, a client that absolutely hates you, and your business is raging mad in the middle of your lobby, and you got 5 seconds to unfuck this. Every single scenario you can think of, and it's we've done it 3 years, and this will be our third year doing it. I put together a branding and marketing one, because I feel that people, when people are branding their businesses, they put a lot, again, opening up a business is a very personal and intimate thing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we put too much of our own selves into branding, aka using our name,
Vicky's
having the design be you. Like, I got my scissors, I got my clipper, I got my dog, and it's just like 40,000 people across the United States and in other countries all have the same logo. And, and this isn't like specific to the grooming industry. All grooming industry, like, this is what works. This is a piece of me. Newsflash, that's not what markets. Like, so I would say like 10 years ago, we had like 10 seconds to get someone's attention, to say who you are, what you do, and how to reach you.
Now you got 3.
Yeah. Like, that's even generous. So it's like, if you have a blur, again, people be like, oh my God, people that know you will be like, oh my God, that's you. That's cute. That's got your cute little tattoo. That's got your signature scissors, your signature apron. The people that love you are going to appreciate it. The people that don't love you yet, that don't know you, they'll be like, what is this? Does this sell dildos or cupcakes? I don't know. Both? That's a business idea. Dildos and cupcakes. Because who doesn't want to get off while getting on? Next business idea. So
dildos and
I love it how you're writing it down. Sweet treats.
I wrote
it. Sweet treats. Oh my God.
Sweet treats. Oh God, this is great. So it's
But imagine the people who call sweet treats. Yes, what do you sell? Well, sir, I sell dildos and cupcakes. Which would you prefer? The dildo in the cupcake?
Yup.
I like
that's generally like what I drive, is to give people different perspective. Like, for example, I hate the color pink, despise it. It's not my thing. However, pink is soothing and calming. It's like, oh, it makes people think of babies and puppies and kittens and sweet treats. So it makes everybody feel good. Oh my God, I gotta open up this business. But it makes everybody feel good. So that's the color I went with. Listen, I like black. I like hunter green. Those are my colors. But I'm running a dog grooming business. So it needs to be what's going to market, because I bet $100,000 that I can open up a business and pay my bills. So I got to do what the people want and not what I want. And I love the Gen X, the Gen X mantra of like, we're doing it my way and that's it. And there was a time in business where you can take huge risks like that, but until people know you, you got to serve your customer base. So I like to be the dissonance that kind of shows all the other sides of it, is that, hey, at first you got to build an audience that loves you and adores you, and then you can do whatever the F you want. But for now, you have to deal with a formula that works. And
that was what lives in our class, because a lot of people come in and they want to go, I'm going to name the shop after me, Chris's Pets. All right, 10 years from now, when you want to go shop, you're going to make it harder for yourself because you branded it with your name. Someone's not going to want to buy Chris's. They're going to want a generic, like, fluffy puppies or something like that, because then they can put their spin on it. So, we talked about
I think that is an amazing observation and truth to this. So I also created an extra class, which is going to be the first time I run it this year. Is I'm doing a virtualization and AI and marketing class. Which I'm very excited about. I know that Victoria knows a little bit of like what I've been doing, but the virtualization part of it is something that I don't teach things unless I'm doing them as well. So the virtualization place, it's something that is really incredible. I'm personally having an amazing experience with a virtual assistant right now, and I'm like, my stress has gone down like 70%. It's amazing.
Sure.
I still have an office manager that she's a little bit different than a virtual office manager because I can physically go and see her. She's right over the bridge. So she's local to me. So she works her 20 hours a week. That works for her schedule. And then I have my virtual other manager that works 40 hours a week and has a background in tech. So it's night and day. So I want to share this with people because I've seen the idea of it being tossed around on the internet, and people are very dismissive, very angry, and very upset. So I want to be able to, when people are online, they're going to respond in a different way about things that make them uncomfortable. And when you have somebody in your face and they might say, "Oh, AI is ruining," it's like, cool, let's have a discussion, let's have discourse, because this is the time in history, like, we're the middle children of history, man. Like, we are literally in this weird time of analog and digital and artificial intelligence. So I want this discourse to happen in my class for sure.
My husband wants me to learn AI, and I've been tinkering with it, but
it's going to learn you. It's going to learn you.
I already have. I go on chat.
Crazy.
GPT knows more about me than I know about me. Like,
yeah.
It was bringing.
Well, I definitely want to offer a lot of guidance to people. This other thing I'm putting in the class is how to use your tool, because if you're using, say, ChatGPT is a hammer, and you're using the hammer as a paintbrush, you're not going to have a great time with it.
Exactly.
You use your hammer like a hammer. So I'm going to offer a lot of discussion about prompting and how to not lose your personality inside your work. I really do like, there's a difference between growing up with technology and growing into technology. And when we already have a background knowledge of how things work and how we do them just from, our Neanderthal way of reading and learning, but then you incorporate that brain with ChatGPT, that's amazing. It's amazing.
And
so
it's
I'm excited about it.
I want to go to the class.
So do I. I bet you it. Well, John he stepped in. So at the Rocky Mountain Broom Expo in Arizona, one of the speakers had to back out, and he spoke because it was at the last minute. So they sent him all of the stuff, and he went to go speak on it. And it was a little bit about this. It was about using AI. It was about using technology in the salon. But when he got there, he asked everybody, "So what are you using now?" They were using, this was beyond, they were using beyond what the class was going to be about. So at the last minute, he checked with Tina and he goes, "Is it okay if I turn this into a round table?" She's like, "Yeah." So he turned it into a round table, and I found this very proud of him. He goes, "So what are you using now?" And she goes, "Well, or what do you want to work on right now? What do you want technology to do for you?" For this lady who's about our age. And she says, "Well, I need to learn how to do social media better. I have a hard time with social media." He goes, "Turn around, and the girl behind you, who's in her 20s, that's the person you should be asking." He goes, "You have the best resource here in this room, in this seminar. Everyone here is at a different level. You need to build a community, and you guys all have to feed on that." And then it turned into this really cool roundtable. people were loving it.
Nice.
And, you know, and he was even learning some stuff, even though he's pretty tech savvy. But he said that because we learn from each other. We have to, because some people are at different levels.
Yeah. I would say one of the most beautiful interactions that I have had with ChatGPT and my virtualization, my virtual manager. We were having, you know, we send, when collecting payments, we, at the end of the day, at the end of the appointment, the stylist sends an invoice with a Square link or a Zelle payment. And we don't shake people by the ankles until Friday. So then Friday, my scheduling manager will then follow up with everyone. And then on Monday, she'll really start banging down the hatchet because I got to do payroll. And so it was becoming a little out of control, obviously, with, you know, with the state of the economy, people, you know, getting a little bit behind on their stuff and people taking their time to pay their bills. And, you know, I would say I only have 15% of my clients with credit cards on file. And I charge for credit card usage and I don't charge for Zelle. So you need real money to use Zelle. So sometimes that's not a very convenient option for a lot of people, but it's free. So they'll wait until a payday. So I'm pretty flexible about it, but it was becoming a big problem because I was having an average of 36 tickets open by the following Tuesday.
Ooh.
So I would have thousands upon thousands of dollars. Now, granted, I have a savings account, so I don't have to be freaking out, but it was becoming a problem. So I went to my virtualization, like my stationary manager. It's like, hey, I need you to really, really start hounding people. And that did not play out very well because people then get stressed out and that doesn't help either. Then people like, maybe I should switch to 6 weeks off of 4 weeks. Then I feel like a monster, like I'm not being very flexible, but then I got to pay my bills. So anyways, as I'm having this moral dilemma, the virtual manager, he's like, you want to know what? Stop having the groomers do this. I am going to be the one that messages, and I'm going to message everyone between 5 and 7:30 p.m. At the end of the day, and at the end of the week, have Tammy message everybody, and then the following Monday, I will again be the one to message, because there's now 3 mouths. There's 3 mouths that they're seeing that are working a system. So he suggested this. All of a sudden, like 95% of our tickets were closed either same day or most by the end of the week. There was no need for Monday. And I said, "Oh my God, this is brilliant. Like, what did you do?" And he's like, "Well, according to I spoke to Gemini and I spoke to Grok, and then I also checked ChatGPT, and all 3 modules saying according to the psychology, and it stated all of its sources." That most people are more inclined to pay invoices when they receive the notification between 5 and 7 p.m. because work is done and their brain can now work for the next task. Most people are neurodivergent. There's more of us than there are of the normies. So you know, that's how I even operate. If I have a bill I have to pay and somebody tells me at 2:00, then I'm all of a sudden going to be incapable of functioning for the rest of the day. So this is something that, again, virtualization, communication, and AI has made my like the economy isn't any better. People aren't less broke, but guess what? Everyone paid their bills this week.
Yeah, well, they also use it like doing social media. You have, when you go through your analytics, you can look at what the best time is to post when you're going to get the most views. It's the same concept. Like for me, it varies, but usually it's between 2 and 4. Prime is 3. But it's the same thing. It's using analytics. We've been using that the hard way, but now AI and the technology has made it much easier. We don't have to write everything down and keep track of everything on pen and paper.
I think that the next invention to come out that is going to change how we create and make content is we need to invent a little device that follows us around and records, and it's
right. Just
Uploading content. We will make you lots of money. Feed us. Feed us your energy source. I think that I think that that's the point that we're at. I know there's a lot of people that are very upset about AI. I made a lot of video content very recently and shared it publicly. And you know what's really cool, and what a lot of people don't understand that criticize like a lot of the Sora content. So I created probably like 1,000 videos. And just to give you an idea, when I put a vision into a Sora prompt, I can put as many complex things into it as I want. Yeah, you can have the system generate some AI nonsense for you, but you can also strategically put
Oh yeah.
any of what you need to create. So to get the vision of what I wanted, I had to prompt maybe for one video to come out the way that I wanted. I probably prompted about 100 times, and you can only do that in one day. So like, because it is in beta format. And you know, so what a lot of people don't seem to understand, like I uploaded my face, I created cameos, and some of the things are like my writing, like my poetry and my stories and my diary entries and my most personal, deep, intimate stuff and hurt and suffering that I've been able to plug into this program. And it's been incredibly healing, as well as it's been like it as something that's been really cool. I used it for a business tool. I i i had created videos that I choreographed myself, that I had a video crew come, got clients to cooperate, had dogs brought in, and everybody knows that I do this. And a couple times a year I'll have somebody helping me create the kind of content that I want. I'll get my team involved. We'll have a whole couple days at it. And it got, got traction, like 1,500 to 2,000 people viewed and interacted. And I got engagement. I was happy about it. And again, I have clients, I'm full, so it's like this is a tool of relevance and for ego. It's not really what drives my business. But I'm a Leo, and sometimes it's nice to be like, yay, everybody loves me, it's great. So I then created the video of me eating chicken and driving through New York saying, I'm not slowing down. And, and again, yeah, and AI created this. It's my prompt, it's my face, it's my ideas, but it partnered with Sora. Sora created this really hilarious skit. It got thousands of views, interaction. Like, these are the things that are very frustrating when people criticize. Like, guess what? I create content, I create art, I create shit that I create myself. And again, I'm not it's not always created for everyone's approval. So sometimes my stuff like swings and misses. But for everyone to be like, you're stealing from real artists. Yeah, guess what? Like, I'm an artist, and sometimes people don't support anything I do. But I create something in a computer program, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
I'm an artist too, and I'm going to say in the beginning when I was hearing about it, I'm Gen X, so we grew up with the Terminator. So when I was hearing AI was good, I was like, Skynet, it's happening.
This is how it ends. I agree.
And now I'm like, okay. So my husband's like pushing me to do AI, but going way back,
of course, I think everyone was.
I was so not into technology.
I think everyone at some point. Do you remember in 2006? Sorry, we can even bring it back a little bit further. When digital art kind of started creeping into the schools, like early 2000s, like some people, listen, they would say, oh, this isn't talent, the computer's doing it. I can't create what some of these people create digitally. It's talent. It's a different medium. If you dial it back even further, like 200 years ago, people thought that I'm actually probably very inaccurate about the time frame, but like every new tech is shot down as witchcraft, whether it's the television, the telephone, the book, reading,
CGI.
different religions.
Wasn't allowed at one of the award shows because they use CGI.
Yeah.
The first big movie production to do it were denied.
And coming back to when the iPad first came out and the iPhone, Apple was going crazy, my husband said to me, I'm getting you an iPad. I don't want it. I'm going to get you an iPhone. I don't want it. I still like my little flip phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you're going to learn this. And I said, no, I'm not. I don't want a technical leash. And he goes, you're going to learn this.
Yeah. Welcome to the leash.
If you watched me, like, what was it? It wasn't even 30 days later. I had my iPad here. I had my phone, my brain here. And I was like, and I was taking pictures and stuff during them. And that was when it was just starting. Yeah. It's not like, so when he said to me, I want you to learn AI, and I went, nope, that's Skynet. And he goes, you remember the iPad?
You're gonna be a pro at it at no time. But like at the end of the day, it's like, listen, people can be upset about it, but it's like it's gonna happen whether you want it to or not, you know?
Well, he said to me, look at it this way. Remember the iPad with you? And I said, yeah. And then he goes, do you want Skynet to run you, or do you want to run Skynet? And I went, okay, what classes? So
yeah, well, that's the thing, is a lot of people struggle with change. This isn't a new emotion. This isn't a new problem. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, the maker of the horse carriage, do you think they were happy when the automobile came out? But when human beings are free of different types of labor, then it allows the brain to create a little bit more. So this is a scary time, because humanity has, I like to think that every time the pool of humanity starts to congeal, like God takes his finger and just gives it a little swirl. So there is a morality thing that's going to be at stake when a decision has to be made by the people that run the technology and the workers, as industry becomes obsolete and needs to be replaced. Like, that's going to be the morality issue of what are we going to do when entire industry is written up. And there's no saying, oh, I'm a dog groomer, I'm safe. No, because if your clients don't have money, you don't have a job. You don't have something to do. People won't be getting their dogs groomed. People will be chewing that hair off with their freaking teeth. So it's it kind of loops back to the original discussion of, it's all one ocean. It might look like there's a lot of different oceans and a lot of different parts of the world, but we are all on this spinning planet, and it is imperative that, that we understand that it's not what's good for this one and not bad for this one. Everything impacts all of us.
Absolutely.
Well, Taylor changed her major because she was going into graphic design, and then, she's 21. So a year or so into school, she was like, oh yeah, there's going to be no job for this by the time I'm done. So she switched her major.
No, yeah, definitely
Lucky
definitely not. I mean,
but she also learned some great art stuff.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where I think that it's important to learn. When electronic music started really taking over everything, I still learn analog instruments, and the reason being why is there's something to be said to be able to create. And the computer is a tool, the music machine is a tool. The ability to create anything digitally, it's a tool, but again, we have to remember that we are the authors. We create. This is a reflection of humanity, and that's how I look at it. So, either way, I'm looking forward to being with a room of anybody that wants to throw rotting vegetables at me or wants to high five me. I embrace all of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even on its most simplistic form of using AI for work is what is that app? Photo Room. Stop putting up the backdrops.
Yeah.
You just go in there, a picture of the dog, type a prompt into AI, it changes the backdrop. Mm-hmm. It's very convenient, saves time. Every one of my customers loves that.
I used it for me.
I use it for my horse. I used that, what's the AI video app? I used it to make my horse and I doing Grand Prix dressage freestyle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty awesome. I mean, although AI got the names to the movements wrong, I was like, that's okay. I can change that.
I really want to, I just got to find a course, because I'm one of those people, I have to learn how to do something like that. Technology.
So that's the biggest thing about this, Christine, is like the course, by the time you get a course and you've gotten halfway through it, something else has
changes.
come out. You have to,
That's true.
you just have to, you have to use, you have to,
I-
you have to use you have to use your animal brain and just get in there and start freaking mashing shit and just figure it out. Ignite that curiosity of just saying, I'm going to figure this out with no, because even the people that the teachers, they're just figuring it the fuck out. So it's like, you know, it's like when the caveman invented the wheel. Like the guy maybe 3 days later is like, all right, let's do our review on the wheel. Like it's again, it's more so, it's less about teaching and more about perspective. Like you're a student and the teacher at the same time.
Yeah. And just
That's
have fun and play with it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you said you were doing videos with it?
I can send you the invite code to the video thing.
Okay.
Yes.
I do the videos. I could do the pictures. I did on TikTok. They have it where you can use AI and do a video, and I did a Bigfoot coming into our grooming salon for grooming. And I was proud of that, even though it did most of the work.
It's fun. It's just fun.
It is. I enjoyed it. John was cracking up because I went to show him the video, and he goes, "And how did you do that?" AI. And he goes, "Uh-huh." I said, "Okay, I'll embrace it."
Never let
Yeah,
them know
listen,
he's
listen. People, I have no judgment for anybody who doesn't like it, does like it. But again, every point in history has had this time, and it's like you can either, if you want to ride your horse carriages, nobody's gonna have a problem with that. Just don't get
Mhm.
mad at us that are on the highway in a car. I want to use my brain for other things. I you know, I don't want to have to be a slave to content creation. I don't want to have to, my ideas are all there. It's just cool. I don't have to hire a camera crew. I don't have to coordinate 50 billion people. I don't have to freaking put cones out to reserve freaking street space so I can shoot. I don't have to bother my clients and bother a bunch of people. I can use real images of my dogs and my face and my team and
Yes.
put it into this program with my writing. So it's just like, that's the biggest thing, is if people are on a high horse about this, that's cool. That means you do that for yourself. Don't get in the way of the future. That's the only thing I can say about it.
Article I had to write for a community magazine. And I had it written out, but it needed to be tweaked, it needed to be edited, and I put it into ChatGPT, and in 1 second, it had it beautiful.
Hell, even my notes on my iPad, it has a little thing, you hit AI, it'll do all the
Yeah.
fix your...
And that did it like boom, and I handed it in and got it in, and John goes, "Hey, are you already done with your article?" I said, "Yeah, I put it in ChatGPT, and it cleaned it up for me." And he went, then I handed it to him, and he goes, "This is good." And I said, "Better, it's my words cleaned up."
Yeah.
So,
but and then that's the thing is some people take this that as a thread of creative writing. Listen, if you don't create a prompt and you ask it to do it for you and you just hand it in, everybody's gonna know. Like everybody know, like Kimmy K trying to pass the bar. Like everybody's gonna know it's some bullshit. But if you create something and you're like, I'll do things when I create writing where I'll put it into ChatGPT. I'm like, ChatGPT, first off, can you correct my grammar and my spelling and my punctuation and everything I suck at? And boom, it'll do that. I'm like, great. Can you do me a favor? Can you give me your perspective of what of how people receive what I'm writing about? And they're like, and then it'll ask like, what are your goals with this piece that you're writing? I'm like, my goal is to not isolate or alienate. I want to be able to speak to a broad audience and not make anyone feel attacked. Cool. So this, and this. What's changed? This. Would you like to look at it side by side? Yes. Great. Done. Something that would have taken me maybe 3 weeks to do now allowed me to proofread, rewrite, get different perspectives, feedback in a matter of a couple days. Now I have more time. And we don't live forever. I know that as a aging millennial, I like to think that we are going to live forever. But I would like to be able to spend my time to do more creative shit, to do more good shit. So, I'm like all for using this tool. Also, something that's really cool with Mogo, you can hit writing tools in Mogo. So when I'm mashing buttons because I'm in traffic and somebody's bitching about me being late, I'd be like, "Hey Karen, I'm gonna be there in 15 minutes." And I hit the friendly button and it makes it friendly. That's amazing. Like, shout out to Mogo. Like, I understand they're just they're just coding ChatGPT into their keyboard, but it's just like, oh man, like when I showed my team, I couldn't even explain it to them. I'm like, hey guys, everybody stop what they're doing. And everybody got in Telegram, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you a screen recording of me showing me responding to a client that was being obnoxious. And I typed in a way that was very dry and very cold and very angry. And boom, in real time, it just cleaned that shit and made it smile. And I'm like, oh my God, I communicated effectively without being a douche. I will be able to keep this client. This is great. What a brilliant.
Well,
it's like brilliant. It's like brilliant tool.
He wanted to redo our Halloween decorations for the front of the shop, and he wanted it wow this year. So he said to me, "I want to do the Haunted Mansion," and I said, "Do you want it dog and cat themed?" And he said, "Yeah." So I took our personal pets.
I'm gonna get an example.
And you're gonna grab him. Mm-hmm. So she's gonna go get the example. So I took our personal pets and our staff's pets, and I turned it into the pictures that you see at the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. So we have my cat on the tightrope with the alligators trying to eat her up in Victorian style outfits. I have all my employees and stuff, and we did this and we put it up front, and it came out so awesome. But it was funny because he says, "Well, can you do that?" And I said, "Hold my beer." And I went on ChatGPT and had 6 pictures for him within 10 minutes. And I said, "Do you like these?" And he goes, "I'm calling Staples." Yes. That stuff printed out, and it was amazing. Yeah. It turned out. So now he wants me to do Christmas, and I'm working on that. So, but he doesn't.
Well, all I'm gonna say is Gen X. Gen X wins holidays. Like, granted, I kind of grew up between both generations, so it's just something, and again, that like is my observation. Oh my God, I love it.
And you got
it's rad.
Frame. The frame I did with
Gen X does Halloween, Christmas.
It's wet.
Amazing.
Her, you gotta get her down.
Oh, splat!
So yeah, and then I took the foam, the spray foam, and created the frame on it and stuff to make it all like yeah. That I will say about Gen X. We MacGyver everything. So you hand us some duct tape and some foam and spray paint, and we can make anything.
We got Kylo.
Yep.
Come here, Ding.
No, hands down. Literally, the most feral generation makes holidays special without a dollar to their name. They can make freaking Halloween happen, and I've seen it happen. One of my groomer friends, Stephanie, she was telling me this story about her kid, and she needed to pull Halloween out of her ass with 4 kids and not a lot of money, and and I try to remember what it is that she did. She shoved her kid through a pizza box and like made her pizza. And like she's got years of these stories of just things that she does, and I'm just like, man, literally, like her kids would never know when things were fucked up because everything was always a big party all the time. Gen X moms are fucking rad. They super are. They're especially when the fact that they were just so neglected by the not necessarily the boomers, but the silent generation and the boomer generation that raised them, that they just came really just like punk rock parents. It's awesome.
So I got my crafty side and my ingenuity from my mother, who's a boomer. And you're talking about like getting crafty and stuff. We were broke for at one Halloween, and so, and this was during Star Wars, and all that. So my mom went to the thrift store because my dad was on strike. He worked for the airlines at the time, and he was on strike, so he wasn't getting any money. And she went and got a cardboard box and a broken Darth Vader mask. And she created Darth Vader out of a cardboard box, a black cape, and black clothing. And she made the whole thing for my brother, dressed my brother as Darth Vader. And then for me, she went to their store, got some 70s clothes and 60s clothes, and turned it into, and it literally looked like I came out of a bottle. It looked like I Dream a Genie. And she created that stuff and stitched it up, and I'll never forget that. And I can't remember where my sister was, but she was annoying anyway, so who cares? But she would just create stuff out of a cardboard box. Well, that's how we grew up. So, but when we were growing up, we had our imaginations. We didn't have all this fancy stuff. We would go find stuff on the side of the... I'd find a stick. Guess what that stick became? It was my horse. It was, we used our imagination. So that's a generation.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say that, we are a creative bunch. We could pull it. Yeah.
I think my favorite Halloween was taking my mom's old wedding dress, and I wanted to be a dead bride. So we ran it over with a car, we tore it up, we threw fake blood on it, and all the things. And then the other one was Catwoman, the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Oh, so, well, I can't say that here. But, okay.
Well, now I need to know. Say it.
So when that movie came out, I bought...
Yeah, now you totally have to say it.
I invested in the costume. I was much skinnier. I invested in the costume and the mask, the whole thing. And I was going to surprise my husband when he came home. And I didn't know he had a phobia of whips. I had the whip the whole 9 yards. She knows my husband. And so he comes inside. And I cracked the whip, and he literally shuddered, turned around, shut the door, didn't say a word, shut the door, and left. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sweating. It's in California. It's hot. We didn't have air conditioning. I'm sweating in it. So I go to get this costume off and can't. And he's gone. I'm in here by myself. And I'm laying down trying to get the zipper, and I can't, and it's just dripping in it. The more I struggle... there, right? Well, I'm laying down on the floor, and my cat comes around the corner from the hallway, and I'm on the floor trying to get it. She sees me, and she full on attacks me because I still have the mask on. She full on attacks me, rips it up. I have a scar from this freaking cat right there. So I called my mother-in-law, hoping my husband went there. And I said, "Hey, Mary, is John there?" And she's like, "No." I go, "Well, he might be there. Can you tell him to come home?" And he kind of left in a hurry. And she literally goes, "So what pickle did you get yourself into?" And I'm like, "Don't worry." She goes, "Do you need me to come over?"
Quite a literal pickle.
I'm like, "Please don't come over. Please don't come over." She goes, "Well... you sound stressed." And I'm like, "I am, please don't come over. Please don't come over." She goes, "Are you going to be okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Well, about a half hour later, I'm still working, and I'm about ready to pass out at this point. All of a sudden, my front door opens, and there's my mother-in-law to come save me.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like, she was laughing. She goes, "At least you're trying to keep it." But yeah,
I used to really, really go above and beyond over for Halloween for all sorts of different reasons. And I would say, like, the reason as I got older, I toned it down a little bit because obviously I would put a lot of work, like Heidi Klum level of work into my costumes. I did full avatar makeup, built the nose, built the facial features, painted myself blue, had a bodysuit, did the nails, did everything, did Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. I cut out little shoelaces and I glued them all to my face.
yes.
And then, of course, I would have to go to like a New York City rave because you have to show off your work in the most, in the most glamorous ways. And It would be everyone would be like, "Oh my god, let me get a picture of you." And that's again, I'm a Leo. I feed off of that shit. So I'm like, "Yes, I feel validated. This is amazing."
Yeah.
It would be completely fine until I would have to pee. I can handle tripping balls and going to the bathroom with a headlamp in a porta potty at a festival. And going to the bathroom. I can handle that. But you give me a Halloween costume with where I can't unzip the back easily and pee. So I had to make sure every costume going forward had a crotch zipper. Or we're not dealing, or a leash in the back where the bathing suit, like where the back zip is, like a scuba diving thing. Because I've realized being a mobile dog groomer, because I don't have to hold my pee for nobody. I pee in my van all day long. So I have a drink. Cool. I'm going to the bathroom. When you're in a salon, you have to like wait till you're finished with an action to be able to excuse yourself to go to the bathroom. And again, never mind if you work in an office. Oh, you know what? I got to pee, but let me finish these emails. I'm going to get up. Everybody's going to see me get up, and then I'm going to get, distracted with a million things. I have this privilege where I can drop my pants and pee whenever I want to. I don't have to stop. So I have lost my ability to be able to hold my pee because with that.
I know I'm always surprised at the mobile groomers who are like, I don't eat or drink all day, so I don't have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing with yourself? That is
out your damn mind. All I do is drink water. It's the fountain of youth. It's the only thing that's going to keep things moving and grooving. I do nothing but drink and pee and drink and pee and drink and pee and drink and pee, which is great. But oh my God, when I have to be in around the rest of society, polite society, where we do things like we have to wait for the appropriate time and place. That I can't handle it. So Halloween costume, heavy heart. I have left like VIP sections where like I was invited to a friend's DJ set, had the best table at Marquee in New York City, bam bam bam, literally not paying for anything, everything's great, having a good old time, and I look at the line in the bathroom and I'm like, guess I'm going home. And we'll bail immediately because after 38, I gotta go. And it's not in 2 minutes. It's right fucking now.
Doesn't get any better as you get older. I'm 56. I'm telling you. I'm mobile is looking a lot more.
Oh my God. Yeah, and
because I'm here at the salon and we have a bathroom and there's people sometimes in it, and when you gotta go, you gotta go. And I'm knocking on the door, and half the time it's my husband.
I also don't have shame. I do not have shame either. I have so, just again, from hiking, from festivals, from squirrely situations. I have this awesome device. I got this from oh my God, why can't I remember the name of it? Just give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up. It's obviously, it's like a female urinal, and it cups your junk, and it has a little spout, but I know that there's so many different versions of this, but this actually, it has a perfect little cup, and it just holds your junk perfectly, and then you just pee. Yeah. You don't even have to take your pants off. You just pee.
all right. We'll pause the conversation here. It'll continue next week. Please give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Pet Zone Podcast. Have a crazy customer story, confession, or just something else you'd like to share with the show? Please feel free to email us at info@petzonepodcast.com. Don't be shy. We can keep you anonymous if you like. Also, if you're a professional pet groomer, please feel free to check out the Facebook group, Mobile Groomer Zone. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show on any podcast platform you're listening on, and share it with a friend. Until next time.